Let's see. All right, so this is for anyone stumbling across it. Oh, and for anyone who watches this on the playback, this is a recap video for Este's Quest 3. A little bit of a Q&A for any of the searchers and active participants who had a question about a certain clue or had a question about any aspect of the hunt. If they come on right now, then I'll engage with them and go over it, basically. Going over, I know early on I said that I wanted to bring it close to my hometown. Hey, what's up, Straw Hat? So Straw Hat, in case you missed it, this is a recap video for Estes Quest 3. The hunt is now over. The goal is found. Hey, what's up, Stony? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. It will be a little bit behind the scenes, going over my thought process for some of the clue videos, going over any questions. Hey, what's up, Fuzzy? What's going on? So, hey, what's up, Jay? So if you guys have questions about the clue videos, about the pictures, about the chat, about the hunt itself, just throw it up in the chat, and I'll see if I can catch it as we go down. Starting off, I wanted to bring it back to the East Coast, and I wanted to bring it closer to Maryland. Hey, what's up, Dylan? What's going on? So, and I think that got misinterpreted early on when I said, I want to show my home state some love. That didn't necessarily mean that I was going to do it in Maryland. I just wanted them, Marylanders, to have an easier access to it, right? That's why I ended up picking West Virginia. Lenore, what's going on? Oh, the Rambling Dragon. Hey, what's going on? Hello, I have all the questions. All right, well, start shooting them, start sending them, and I'll start answering them. But yeah, so I wanted to do it closer to Maryland. I didn't want to do it in Maryland. And so I was looking at Virginia, I was looking at Pennsylvania. And then as Delaware was never really in the running. I feel bad for Delaware. But Delaware, New Jersey, they were never, in my mind, it was going to be Pennsylvania or Virginia. But then when I was doing the JCB hunt, I started going to those areas. And I was posting videos how I was in that area. So I thought, well, I bet you people are going to think that because I'm doing JCB stuff in Pennsylvania or Virginia, that I might double dip and do my hunt there. So, hey, what's going on? Gradual Razor and Wild Ones, what's going on? Hooli. So that's made me think, you know what? West Virginia is one state I haven't been to. I haven't talked about it as much. I haven't posted any videos there. So that's why I wanted to do West Virginia. And really glad I did. Early on, I had about 5 locations picked out in West Virginia, and the first one I went to was in Cranberry. I had another spot actually closer to where the hair photo was. Any treasure hunts going to show up in Iowa? I don't know, Dylan. I was kind of far for me to get out. I usually try to use either business or family vacations to kind of either scout or plant something. And I don't really know too many people in Iowa. Well, besides you, Dylan, now, right? So, but yeah, I think the Wild Ones was going on short round. Oh, I get it, short round. Yeah, from Indiana Jones. I'm glad. Hey, you know what? As a creator, sitting back, it's a really great feeling to see everybody interacting with each other. I was really fortunate enough for Estes Quest 1. There were people that were kind of camped out in the area, and they all got along well. With Estes Quest 2, I don't know if it's because it was a desert. There wasn't as much camping out that I saw or heard. And because the area was so vast and empty, I didn't really hear too many searchers meeting up. There was 1 or 2 that ended up meeting up. I think 1 or 2 caught a ride with each other because Estes Quest 2 was off-road, right? I would use the 4x4 to get out there. And so there was a few hunters with sedans that caught rides. That was really really cool to see the hunters sharing rides out there. But I do like the aspect that, and I think I might use that going forward. So this will be a tip for anyone who plays Estes Quest going forward, is wherever the hunt is, maybe I won't do it too far from a camp or a staging site, right? Because that allows you guys, anybody who's doing boots on the grounds for multiple days, that allows you to really bivouac out there. That allows a place for hunters to communicate with each other. So I think that will probably be an aspect going forward, that any Estes Quest going forward, whatever trail it's going to be on or off trail, there'll be a spot relatively close by where you can either gather like a big parking lot or an open space campground. I'm a big fan of dispersed camping, right? So that's one thing. Let me go back and see here. Fortune and glory, we gotta do it again. What MDL? What do I create? So I create treasure hunts. So this is a wrap up video for my third hunt. It was found. I don't know if the winner is in here. They might show up in a little bit. But it was found. The treasure is a 1 ounce gold coin. So, worth right now anywhere between, 33, 35, 3,600 bucks. So not too bad. It's pretty localized. I don't get too many people traveling across the country, right, for, $3 grand, maybe. But I do get people that drive, maybe a state over, or I wonder who the longest drive was in the chat. I know there was a couple like 8 or 9 hours. I wonder who drove the longest to be there. I grew up in West Virginia. Oh, Robert. I was hoping. Well, Robert, have you been to the Cranberry Wilderness before? I haven't. I didn't get a chance to check out my other recon spots. As soon as I hit that one, I knew that was it. So I don't know if all the trails in West Virginia look like that, with the moss and the otherworldly green and all the leaves and everything. I don't know if that's unique to Cranberry or if that's what West Virginia looks like. Bard the Hunt, Raven, Sparkle House, hello. Oni, Smart, let's see. I went out twice this month. Oh, you went out twice for Este's Quest? Or you went out twice for other hunts too? Thank you, Barry, appreciate it. I had a ton of fun. Oh, I'm glad you had fun, Tyler. I'll tell you what, I have to go back through my messages. Somebody guessed Cranberry Wilderness pretty early on. I'll have to go back and says who. How much did you have to pay you to shave your beard? How much did someone have to pay you to shave your beard? I don't really ever grow it out that much. 3 or 4 days is pretty much as long. For me, I think I went maybe a couple years ago. I had a little bit. My skin gets dry whenever I grow the beard out, and then I have to like start putting product in and moisturizer, and then it becomes more maintenance than it's worth. So just wait till gold. Yeah, hey Dylan, it might hit 5K. What's up, Scott? Yep, I'm here. The trail was such a great spot. How did you find it? Okay, yeah. So a little bit to answer Scott's question, like JCB talks about, he did researching, finding his spots remotely, right? So I'm trying to be conscious of the local laws. I'm trying to look at what areas allow you to go off trail, because that's pretty important to me. I like at some point all of my hunts to go off trail. And so I'm looking at that. I'm looking at what areas have endangered animals. I'm looking at areas that are not as trafficked, because there's a couple popular trails in West Virginia, and I didn't want it to be too popular. And so the Cranberry Wilderness picked up a lot of early check marks for me early on. One, I like that it was in a unique county, Pocahontas. So, that was a clue that some of y'all figured out later on. So I liked, hey, Pocahontas County, that's a cool clue I can slip in. It's pretty unique. Cranberry Wilderness, that's a unique phrase. I can probably slip that in there. So I didn't see pictures of the trail remotely, or they didn't do it justice at all. I was just looking at how long. I like the Three Forks aspect. So I really love the fact that, and most of the hunters who went boots on the ground experienced this. I like the fact that the trailhead starts out, and then you go, I guess, about half a mile, maybe a little bit less than half a mile, and then you come to an intersection, right? That's a pretty cool experience, and I knew I could play around with that. And so then you have a choice of left, right, or straight. So I figured out that, even if people get Cranberry Wilderness early on, even if people figure out what trail, the right trail, they still have a decision to make. And that will kind of, I can have fun with that. So all those things led me to, hey, you know what? This is gonna be the trail. And I think I talked about this a little bit on Discord, but originally I wanted to go like 3 or 4 miles. I really wanted to put this out there. My last 2 hunts, it just hasn't worked out. For those who don't know the story about Este's Quest 2, I originally planned, I went out Thanksgiving morning at like 5 in the morning out to the Mojave, and I was like, all right, no one's out here. It's Thanksgiving morning. Who's out there at 5 in the morning? Nobody but me. I'm gonna go like 3 or 4 miles out into the desert. It's gonna be great. And my wife's like, oh, I want to come with you. And I was like, all right, you can't tell her no. She didn't come with me. So we get out there. Again, I didn't pass. Once I got onto Mojave National Preserve from 15, I believe it was, I didn't pass a single car. Nobody out there, which I liked. Went all the way out to the area that I kind of checked out. And I step out, my wife steps out, and she looks on the ground and she goes, "What's that?" I go, "Oh, what do you mean? The sand, the desert?" She's like, "No, all those little holes." I'm like, "I don't know, it's the desert. There's stuff that it's hot, so animals hide in the holes." She's like, "Nah, I don't want to do this anymore." I'm like, "Well, we're already here. I have to go out." So that was kind of a funny one. So I was like, "All right, stay in the car, leave it on, and I won't be too long." And so that's really, I think, the winner who found it. I think if you timed from where I parked to where the gold is, that was probably one of the shortest ones. I think that's probably maybe like a 20, 30 minute walk up there. But yeah, this one, the trail, and most of you guys experienced it who went out boots on the ground that last weekend, was that trail when it rains gets really, really wet. There's like a couple inches of water in on most of the trail. And the sides are so hemmed in with moss and undergrowth that you can't really go off trail. And so I started out. I loved it. It was beautiful. I loved the intersection. I loved the little rock chairs, all the little things. It was just so wet, and I just got like, man, I don't want to keep doing this for miles and miles. So we're gonna cut it short. And that was that played into why the distance was, a little over a mile. All right, thumbs up. What we got? 6.5 for us. Oh, hey, magic 6.5, Scott. I like that number for. But okay, so that's how far you drove. I'm not from Southern West Virginia. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess Southern West Virginia has a different landscape. If you understand that environment is usually, and so that's one thing that a couple people were telling me, and now that I'm learning more about that area, that's I guess it's pretty fortuitous that I picked that area. Miss Dressel there, the Rambling Dragon. But yeah, that was a great find for everybody who went boots on the ground. It really enjoyable for me. I've spent the last 20 something years on the East Coast, Maryland and Virginia. I've been up and down the AT tons of times. Not the whole AT, but like our section. And I've never seen any trail that looked as beautiful and green as that. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, let's get into the clues here. All right, so the first clue, right, for the first video, I'm not trying to give too much away. Maybe by the third or fourth video, I want people to kind of know what state it was. And so I'm trying to figure out, visually with the scenes, I'm trying to lure you in and hook you in with the kind of tone for the movie, right? So I'm kind of a goofy guy. I wanted the first scene to be a little bit more serious, stretch my acting chops or whatever you want to call it. So that's why the tone for the first 3 minute clip is a little bit more serious, a little bit more somber. In the back of my head, I almost wanted to because I have a lot of friends who do struggle with PTSD. Being in the military, I was very fortunate. My time in the service was pretty cake. I didn't really do anything too crazy. Was never really in that much danger. But I do have a lot of friends I served with who did experience some serious stuff. And so I toyed around with the idea of maybe this could be not an ode. Maybe this could be what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe this could be somehow representative of that. And I ended up I wouldn't do it justice. I'm not as great of a filmmaker as I thought I was. I found out like a couple episodes into this thing. So I kind of abandoned that idea. Maybe someday I would like to, once I'm a little bit more skilled. But so I didn't want to, when I start this project, I have all these great ideas of stuff themes I want to put in there, and then once I actually start doing it, I realize how much work that's going to be, on top of my already big workload. So, anyways, so the clue I wanted to put in, right? I didn't want for those of you who have done Estes Quest 1 and 2. I do a lot of stuff in the background, right? The fridge magnets, which I don't know if you figured it out, but the fridge magnets had nothing to do with this hunt. But I just left them in there on the fridge just as a little callback or a little Easter egg, right? So I wanted the clues to be easier. I'm okay with it being with the hunt being solved this quick, right? Because both of my other clues, I think both of my other quests were solved from the members Discord, and I really wanted to see if I could design a hunt that a free to play player had a solid shot. So early on I decided for the first couple of videos the clues were going to be auditory. Were going to be the words that I'm saying, and I tried to make that apparent the way in my mind I made it apparent by speaking kind of choppily, like short sentences and speaking in a way that I was reading from a script, not as much dialogue. And so that was a thought process, whether it came across or not, right? So the first one, let's see, I wanted to say, I think it's not Delaware was the clue. And if you just take the first letter of the first couple sentences I say in my first like two monologues, it's right. So it opens with I'm not in a good state of mind, or I'm not in the right state of mind, right? So that's a clue, right? I'm not in this state, or this is not the state. Some people picked up on state and they thought that that was the state. Um, but I think if you watch the couple next videos, you'd figure out that it wasn't in Delaware. And I'm trying to say not in Delaware. So that was the first one. Let me go down here a little bit. The stash 1010. Dwayne Hansen. Alfredo, funny guy as always. Do you like cheesecake? Love cheesecake. I don't know if oh, dude, is this a Pocahontas chat? Yep, Pocahontas chat. Can you say generate 10 times fast? How good were John steaks? Oh, no, John, he's a good cook, man. He's a really good cook. He can really, he's definitely a carnivore. Those are Costco steaks. So, Costco likes a pretty good steak. Yeah, so the off-show clue, which again, I'm not trying to layer too many clues in a video, right? I want you to be able to enjoy the video. I don't want, again, I'm trying to be respectful of your time. I'm not trying to make you spend 2 or 3 hours a day analyzing this video for some small thing. I wanted the clue to be apparent. And that's why this time around, I don't know how many of you caught it, but about a week after the video aired, I would go back and pin a top comment that would kind of help you narrow it down if you haven't figured it out yet. So yeah, so I told John, who likes to self-medicate a little bit, if you couldn't tell. And I'm like, hey man, all right, this is gonna be the clue. Talk about how Sammy got lost and you found her off the trail. All right, so and then like the third or fourth time, he just snapped out and yelled off trail, and I was like, that's the take we're gonna run with. It's hilarious. Yeah, so he's an unpredictable guy. James Bald, my eyes. Diane W. Hey, hey, what's up, Diane? Asking the real question. Why are you bald? Why are you bald? It looks baller. Thanks, man. It's definitely not a choice. All right. Lad of the heel of my foot. Must be a British thing. Yeah, no, she does. She's she'd have to, all right? I mean, we're tossing out like 3K a hunt at one of these things. So, I explained, hey, we can write off a lot of this. But yeah, we're definitely going to take a pause. I want to focus on YouTube. I want to focus on JCB and Justin's hunts and get those going a bit. But now that I try to be as open as I can. Now that I've been monetized, I guess about a month now, I'm making in a little bit. So I think each video I post is probably ending up around, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks. So after a couple months, hey, I think that's definitely gas, and that covers a little bit of a coin. And the membership is slowly increasing. Now that I kind of have now that I've done 3 of them, I kind of know what to expect. So I think I'm pretty confident we'll do another Estes Quest before the end of the year. I don't think it's going to be the summertime. We'll let the weather go down. We'll aim for a nice like fall type. I haven't decided if it's going to be East Coast or West Coast yet. It just depends where I'm at. But yeah, we can't keep throwing away money like that, right? That's why I really felt if you watched Michael O'Connell's, I understand what he's going through. I'm not 150K in the hole like he is, but I sympathize, right? Let's see. We got James. We got Colton. Lake Lamb. Hey, what's up, Lake? Scott, we searched 50 degrees, rain for hours. Yeah, so yeah, that rain, man, that's no joke. I had on some about ankle high waterproof boots, and I was having to step on rocks and logs to not get in there. Oh, good job, James. Raimundo, can someone mute? Let's see. All right, let's go. Just give me a second while I gotta click on these buttons, and let's see. We'll hide that user and hide this user. Let's see. This one. Okay, Colton and James, timeout, gone. All right. Let's see. Catch up. I like the brother story a ton. Yeah, that's kind of yeah, brotherhood, brother, kind of, playing around with big themes there. But as we can go back on track before I'll take a pause with going through the chat, and we'll go on to the next video. Because so Estes Quest 1 was, scene 1, right, was not Delaware. And the second one, I'm pretty sure, let me pull it up so I can look at it myself, was going to be, no, was it not Maryland or not Virginia? But the first couple videos are, it's just listening to the words that I'm saying and finding the first letter and saying, and the way I speak, I think if you listen to enough of my videos, if you listen to my Discord, like, you can tell I'm kind of reading a script. In my mind, again, it doesn't always come across as perfect as I think it comes across, but that's how how I did it. Okay, let me just pull up the right playlist here. Let's go to the chat. Mandy, what's up, Mandy? I like your brother. HUMYA, I don't know what that means. Q33. What's up, Scarlett? Harsh Reality Fire. Hello, hello. You don't have a back. It's all the back. Back. I don't know what that means. Demetrius, Froggy, Demand. Yeah, I don't know. On that mod thing, I might need someone to explain to me what exactly how that actually works. Toothless. Here we go. Froggy. Jealous. Here we go. Just a mod. Why are people being rude for no reason? Facts. Demetrius. All right, I guess we'll get rid of Demetrius too. Hide user. Okay. Chicken Jockey. Hey, I was playing Minecraft earlier today. All right. Off trail. Okay, and then one more for Mr. Bruce. Hide user. Okay. I made a homepage for the orphanage kids, but they had a hard time. Mike. Okay. All right. Jay. So I apologize if I missed a couple questions on there. You might have to retype them, but I think I'm caught up to the chat. We're at Jay. So Jay, I addressed this earlier on, but a quick recap is, it was the first spot on my list, and it was just so pretty that I just had to be here. It was unique from any other. Oh, from Granada. What's up, Fitzroy? It was just so unique from any other place that I'd been to, right? It's unique from the Pennsylvania AT Trail. It's different from the Virginia AT Trail. It's different from the Maryland AT Trail. I did go to the Tri-Corner, Maryland, Delaware early on for a small exploratory boots on the ground kind of thing. And as soon as I stepped foot in the Cranberry Wilderness, it's so unique. And I'm hearing now from other people who are from that area that that is a very unique area. It's not like that all over West Virginia. So because of that, and I also explained that further down the trail, there was a nice intersection. And so I like the idea that, okay, even if you pick the right trail, now you're left with, a literal fork, with 3 prongs. Which way do you go? So I liked having the searcher, putting myself in the mind of a searcher of which way do I go with that, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. Can you tell me Happy Late Easter? Happy Late Easter. All right. Namira. Hey, West Virginia is really, really pretty. It turns out I slept on it most of my life, but that area was really amazing. What do I think of Western Sahara? I don't know what Western Sahara is. I was in Morocco, which I think was the Eastern Sahara. No, maybe the Morocco is the Western Sahara. All right, so yeah, then the steaks, the clue one for the steaks was the food, right? And so one of the steaks, someone pointed out, they do kind of get a West Virginia vibe with, the prongs. I was trying to put a WV in there. WV appears a couple different times if you caught it. Not just in that scene, but in later scenes. I didn't know where James got, and he doesn't remember either, where he got the cutting board, but somebody tried to find where that cutting board was from. I think Darien it said on the cutting board. And he doesn't remember where he got it from, and I couldn't find it either. So if somebody did manage to track down where that cutting board is from, that would be impressive, right? Thanks, Joe. Do you like pumpkin pie, cherry pie? I don't know, pie. Yeah. So by the time the mobile game came out, I think that was like, because I really wanted people to start having fun once they figured out the right state. Because once you figure out the right state, then the clues in the Discord would make sense, and everything else would make sense. So I was okay with making the state obvious by like the second week. I was okay. I wanted you to figure out the state by the second week. So that's where I kind of like threw in the WV there. My favorite Bible verse as a kid, it was Jesus wept, because that was the easiest one to memorize. And we always got candy if we memorized a verse in Sunday school. Scott Stoll, where we live, my wife was born there. No clue, such close place. Yeah. And you know what? That makes me happy as a creator too. I'm hearing from a lot of people that went boots on the grounds that they really enjoyed that spot. And so I'm just happy that I could direct people to there. And now for the rest of my life, if anybody's ever visiting West Virginia, I have a really cool spot to tell them, right? If you maybe don't go the day it rains or the day after it rains, right? Because now we know that that trail can get really swampy. But yeah, so I was trying to find pictures. I don't always Google image all my photos, but I try as best as I can just to make sure I'm not taking a picture of something that someone's gonna be able to find with a quick Google image search, right? And that was one of the reasons why I cropped that photo so tight, because I'd seen a few photos of that that display, and so I wanted to make sure I kind of cropped it a little bit tight, but not too tight that it's like impossible to figure out. I have to apologize. I try to keep things as family friendly as possible, but I did not realize that the picture I took of the hiker crossing sign was defaced to look like something inappropriate. And I did it and I posted it and I was like, what's that scratch there? And then I looked at the big image and I'm like, oh, somebody did that. All right. So I do apologize, because I know some people brought their kids out there. And so yeah, that's that one's on me. That's one thing I regret about that. I should have looked at that closer. But you know, I couldn't see the tree because of the woods or whatever. Indiana Holmes, yeah. Thanks. Great times I've met this weekend. Such a great time. We're all picture clues on trail. No, so some of the early ones. So the way I like to do it is I like to show you the gold right off the bat, right? So that way, hey, there's real gold. This is what you're looking for, right? You're looking for a pelican case, but I zoom it in tight so you can't see exactly what it's in. And I've done this for the last 2 hunts, and that's why I leave the pictures for Estes Quest 1 and for 2 up, so you can kind of see a little bit of how this works, right? So the first 2 or 3 are usually super tight zoom ins of the gold, right? And but I don't want you to know exactly what you're looking for. So for like Estes Quest 2, it was in a little rock cave, and I didn't want you to know, because the desert's flat, so all you had to do was look for a little rock mound and you'd find it, right? So I had to play a little bit with the cropping. Same with this one. There wasn't too many fallen trees that size in this area. So if you knew right away that you were looking for a fallen tree of that size, it would make it a little bit easier for you. So I did have a photo, and I think I posted it in the members chat, so you can see eventually how things would have played out. Probably around day 21, 22, I would have shown you the actual massive decomposing tree that you were looking for. But yeah, so the way it works is you see where the gold is first, and then we zoom back. So then I want you to find the state, right? So that's why I kind of do a little bit of a chop up a landscape portrait, so you can kind of try to match up some mountains, right? And then I did the hare and stuff, because those are scenic lookout points. The hare and the grouse are at scenic lookout points, so those are, I figured there's going to be some photos of those, and those are easier to find. And then from there, we start looking for the trailhead, right? So I would show a picture of the hiker sign, or I show a picture of that road that you can park on. So that's kind of like the broad basis idea of where it's at. Constantly fine, Tyler. Thanks. Aloha, Joe. Aloha. Kumitivo Nova. Maybe, man. But I definitely want to take a few months off of from creating hunts, and I definitely just want to focus on trying to nail down one of these big national hunts. Congrats. Okay. Where'd you get the drive? Where did you drive from to get it? Asking for Scott, the wild ones. What's your plan with the coin? Okay, 5.5 hours, man. You definitely put in the drive. That's it's almost 12 hours round trip, right? Congrats. How keeping it? Congrats. Long head. That's Scott. Okay, I'm Scott's little son. Yeah, hey, I loved all the families out there. That's again, I don't think I'm ever gonna have a hunt super intense, like 3 to 4 miles one day if I find the right trail and if all the stars align. I might do something like that. But I don't ever want to do something where you can't bring your kids, right? I want this to be, you know, a family thing, you know, father, son, father, daughter, you know, husband, wife, retired, kids, you know, as long as they can walk, I think, you know, they'd have a shot. So, what the clues said, 404, Sabre 404, the Strictly Mountain PFA. Yeah, so yeah, the 404, that one was a tricky one. 4-hour drive for us, wild ones. Good to see you. We should crowdsource next one. You look like Cam No. I don't know who Cam No is. God is good all the time, brother. Okay, so let's move on to some of the more recent videos. So, all right, so 1 and 2, trying to figure out what state it's in. Let's see, scene 4, where we at? I'm on the mobile game a lot. So one of the things that brought the mobile game is one, I read this the spy book where these spies and agents were communicating through mobile games, and it's because they were using the chat function in there because you know it wouldn't be monitored and they didn't want to use their phones or whatever. So that thought has always been in my head that, man, if I ever create a skit or a movie or some kind of media where there's spies talking to each other, you know, I would have them use like a Words with Friends chat or something like that, where it's like it's a mobile game that there's all kinds of talk and chatter going back and forth, and you wouldn't think someone would use it. So that's where the idea came from. And then I've been playing that particular mobile game for probably a couple of years. That's where my original Discord name came from. And so those people know that I do treasure hunts. And so they actually asked, hey, is there any way you could work us in? So that was cool for them. So I had a few different people, you know, they some of them use their real profile name. Some of them wanted to make a different username for the game. And I was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just text me these lines. I'm going to delete our chat, and then I'm going to screen record, and you know, this is what I want you to say. So they had fun with that. And, you know, for those who figured out the game, actually, who was it? Was it Tyler that found me? Somebody actually found me in the game, and I was like, that's pretty cool. They actually sent me something. But yeah, so that was the game was called Evany, and so I played that for a while, and so I just thought that'd be pretty neat to put in there. What else? I forgot what else train of thought here. Anybody I need a mutant here? Which I think everyone's trying to behave. Okay, Scott. Yeah, that was you. Okay. Well, hey man, you were definitely working all the angles then. If you were the one that found me. Yeah, that's right, Indiana Holmes. So you know you definitely earned it, right? I probably might send him something too. I had a great time doing this. Yeah, hey, silver coins. Hey, anything. You know, anything shiny, right? It's fun. The last, I think when I do this hunt again, I might still do you know, a gold coin, but I might toss in a few silver ones in there because, you know, it's just cool. Shiny things are cool, right? People like shiny things in there, and it's cool, you know, to open up a little pelican case and you got some coins in there. What else we got? We got. Let's see what else. Any more questions about it? Forks. Yeah. So the trail, right, was called something Forks. Let's pull it up here real quick. I love that name, Cranberry Wilderness, though, right? That's such a fun name. And that trail does go on like forever. I mean, it's a pretty long trail. Yeah, so it's the north-south trail, right? It's the one, and then about half a mile in, or maybe a little less than half a mile, it splits into 3. You can keep going straight, or you go left, or you can go right. It's almost like a fork would, right? So you've got the north-south trail, then you've got the North Fork Trail, and I guess the North Fork Trail also goes down. But I don't know if this is going to be able to work or anything like that. I don't know. That glare is probably terrible. That's not a good one, though. But if you just type in North-South Loop Trail, you'll see it. And I think it's, I don't know, like 15 or something crazy miles like that. That trail goes all the way out. And there's signs in the front that say it's a fishing. I guess people use that for fishing. But, oh, speaking of the sign out in the front, somebody found, I think it was Beth. Was it Beth that found? I hid 2 Estes Quest little QR code things. And that's what got me thinking of the checkpoint, right? Because, again, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for fun. But I'm also trying to figure out how these big guys do it, right? So I'm always messing with new things. I'm throwing in poems. I'm trying to get cute with a word search, right, for Estes Quest 2. I'm doing little things on the trail to kind of mock and simulate what somebody else might do. And so yeah, I left two, right, because I didn't want to litter. So I left two QR codes, and someone found the first one. I don't know if someone found the second one. It was behind the very first sign as you're going in. It was like tucked behind it. So I don't know if anybody ever found that one. The Rambling Dragon, you found the QR code. Yeah, you found the one that was on the big board, right? Because that one's a little more visible. It's on the bottom. But I don't know if anyone found the other one. Let's see. What was that? Forks. How many toy guns? Okay, yeah. So toy guns. Let's talk about the toy guns, right? So my buddy Edward, right? He's a very serious dude in real life. He's a lawyer. He's a real adult, right? He's not like us treasure hunters, right? He's a legit adult with responsibilities. And I told him what I was doing, and he's like very serious, like, I want to be in one of your videos. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. We used to hang out all the time. Like we went to high school together. We had a lot of good times. And he has a massive Nerf collection. Like this guy, he has his Nerf collection is like he'll buy like aftermarket stuff from China to like put in super springs, and he'll like mod his Nerf guns to like shoot darts out to like crazy speeds, and like yeah, it's pretty wild. But so I was like, yeah, I might need a few Nerf guns because I want to do like a action thriller type thing. And he's like, oh, I got you. And then so when I saw how many guns he had, I was like, you know what? Let's do something like a parking lot deal. Like, you know, two guys meet and, you know, we flash our lights and we get out and some cool dialogue. And, you know, you show me the back of your vehicle with all kinds of stuff. So that was kind of the inspiration for that scene right there. But he's got a bunch of them. He's got so many. I had those for like 3 months and he hasn't asked for them back because he's got tons of Nerf guns. But that's just he's a fun dude, man. Me and Ed go way back. I'd say I'm actually. Yeah. We did. So actually, a fun story from my bachelor party a couple years back. We did like JCB did a D&D weekend. And I didn't do that because JCB did it, right? Because this was before. But I can put myself in that mind. We did a D&D, like a boys D&D weekend, and I ran the campaign, and for one of like the final like boss fight, it was actually like a D&D kind of set in more modern times, and we did like a pretend house clearing where like everybody had Nerf guns and people were hiding in rooms, and you just go out and clear the room, and if you get shot, like you're hit, or if you go in the room and you roll a d20 and that your perception. Anyway, it's y'all probably don't care about all that, but it's that was fun. I don't know how I got on that tangent. Okay, random QR code, found it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I love Nerf. Was the Bucky shirt a hint? No, the Bucky's shirt was not a hint. The Bucky's, I really love Bucky's, man. On this last trip from Florida, I think I stopped at Bucky's 3 times and ate. Perfect silencer Nerf. Give Hooli mod permissions. Yeah, Tyler and Hooli, we'll have to chat afterwards. Again, I don't really know what all that entails. I'll have to learn about that. Usually it's only 1 or 2 trolls that pop in, so you know it's not a big deal. Most of the time they'll just realize I'm boring and move on, or I just have to silence 1 or 2 people. But hey, Frog late again. Didn't get check Discord off. Did treasure get found yesterday? Yeah, in my humble opinion, yes, it did. Sam, funny guy. Yeah, the treasure got found. Found 2 days ago now. I think 2 days ago now. Yesterday. But yeah, it was found. It was safe. Everybody had a good time. So that's all you can ask for. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Hunt related? Any questions? Anything? I love Bucky's. Do you have something specific in mind for search to identify where to go? Oh yeah, Scott. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So I want to talk about this a bit. So, I'm about half a mile in. I see the forks. I see the split. I like that. I keep going. Now that I know that this is the trail, I don't need to look anywhere else. I'm gonna do this one. Now I've gone like 3/4 of a mile and still hemmed in. I'm looking for a way to cut out because I figure, okay, I'll go 3/4 of a mile down, and then I'll cut in maybe a quarter, half a mile. That's a pretty good round trip. And I mean, you guys know how hemmed in that trail was. There was just no way of safely getting off that trail. And then I heard that from those of you who went that last day that the lake, right? Some people called it a lake, was a lot worse than when I went. When I went, it was definitely a sizable puddle. It was about the trail just kind of like goes from hemmed in to just like disappears and almost it was really weird to explain. And I don't know if anybody else walked that far down the trail about like the 3/4 of a mile mark, but the trail goes from really really hemmed in, and then you turn a tight corner, and then the trail just kind of like vanishes. There's like a sandy, there's like a couple inches of water, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go back. And then as soon as I start to turn back, I see that off to the side, the moss is gone and it's a little bit clearer. And so I'm like, you know what? This is a sign. I think this is where we'll go off trail. And I didn't see the tall trees at first. I was looking on the ground to not step in any puddles, and I'm looking for an area to hide. I'm looking for solid ground, and I saw the mushroom trees first, like two or three of them, and I hadn't seen those throughout the whole trail. So I thought, you know what? That's a good clue. Mushroom trees. I can work that in a phrase. I can work that in a sentence. I'll take a picture of it, and that's pretty iconic. They were like mushroom mollusky, almost like a hard oyster. It was a really weird fungus growing on these a couple trees in this area, and I hadn't seen them further on. I don't know if they would have continued. Yeah, I don't know if like those continue on for the next quarter mile, but I know they started there, so I thought, that'll be a good hint. So I turned off as you're walking down to the right, and the ground is pretty steady, not a lot of moss, not too many trees falling over. I'm a taller guy. I could kind of walk through without hitting anything. So then I start looking for where am I going to hide it? In a tree, on the ground. I don't see too many fallen logs. And then I see one or two. Oh, I never got a chance to show these while the hunt was on. I showed a couple pictures after the hunt was over. But there was a couple trees that the roots came out of the ground and curved. And I thought about hiding it in there, like stuffing it under like a root or in between some roots or something. And so I made my way to those trees, took some photos. I'm like, you know what? These are pretty distinct looking. This would be a good clue. And then off into the distance, like, I don't know, maybe 100 yards or whatever further back, I saw that massive decomposing log. And I was like, I thought maybe it's too gross to like, is this too gross to have someone dig around in? And I was like, well, they'll have a stick or put it in there. So hoof fungi, is that what they're called? Hoof fungi. Let's see, and it was made how fast water drained overnight. Yeah. I saw some pictures of some of the first people to go boots on the ground, and it was dry. I forgot who sent it in the chat, but some people went boots on the ground pretty early on, at least for that trailhead, and it was pretty dry. But yeah, so I saw that log. I placed it in there, and if anyone's that did Estes Quest 2 or Fuzzy knows this Estes Quest 1, both of my last hunts, the box was moved. I'm guessing by animals. The first one may have been weather, because the first one, it was kind of on a slope, and it slid down like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet or something like that. And the second one, I think some animals, some little muskrats or something, a little jostled it a little bit. So for this one, I'm like, man, I brought some 550 cord and a carabiner. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to secure this to this. I'm going to put it in this falling apart tree, but I'm also going to run a little cord out. And that cord I did kind of cover up a little bit with some leaves and anchor it to a nearby little sapling, just in case, I don't know, a crow or raccoon, right, wants to see something shiny and wants to snatch it. It'll at least fight with a carabiner for a while. Be interesting to see if a raccoon can undo a carabiner. What was the clue in the video of the parking lots? Oh, so the parking lot scene, I did not put the clue in. There was text. You know how sometimes there's text like on the border of Canada, or the scene of the whatever. Sometimes I'll do like a green kind of scrolling text. So there was text for the parking lot, the last video. But because it was found, I want to save some of my tricks for the next time I do this. So I didn't put the clue in that video. What do you think about like a treasure hunt? Most of us understand. Yeah, so I said I watched his passionate speech, and I feel for him as a creator. Again, it's tough when like I was in Skydrop, and I'm like, all right, this hunt's over. I'm gonna do a little hunt. People want to play, and then boom, $1 million hunt, $1 million hunt. Like, okay, got big broed here. So, but again, it's just the nature of it's just hey, that's the free market, man. We can't really control it. So. But you know, I definitely felt for the dude, and I do want to. Maybe I'm taking on too much of my plate, but I do want to get the book and at least do 1 or 2 videos on it. Try to give him some support. Try to give him some more visibility. I don't. Again, I don't really understand it. And maybe that's because the way he has it set up, you have to read the book to understand it. Again, I get why people are hesitant. I don't like to jump into something that I don't know. I design my hunts, so hey, you know it's 30 days. This is what you're looking for. I'll show you day one where it's at. Um, and, you know, I try to make my clues kind of easier. Most of the time, I give you a defined region that's pretty tight where it's at. So I think people know what to expect. Look, you're looking for 1 coin. This is how much it is. This is a picture of the coin. So with his, I'll have to read the book and see if I can understand how it is. But I don't really know too much about it from like the website. Thumbs up. Let's see. What do you think? I don't know if she did, Huli. I don't know if she did. I know I saw, I believe I saw her and Mike and K-Pro all signed up on the Discord, but I didn't really hear them. They might have just done it to support me. I don't really know if they actually got out there, boots on the ground. I know they are really, really busy. So what inspires you to do this hunts? All right, Tyler. Yeah, so this is why I'm not as skeptical of JCB and Justin when they say like, you know, I want to spread joy and stuff like that. I think if I wasn't doing this, I'd be more skeptical. Like, who really wants to spread joy? Like, I don't know. But being my first treasure hunt sky drop that I did in New England, that I participated in, not that I did, I participated in. I had so much fun. Loved the community. Loved the excitement. And even though I didn't win, right? If you can't, what's that old saying? If those who can't do teach, right? So hey, maybe I'm not cut out to be a great searcher, but maybe I'm cut out to be a good hider. So that kind of inspired it. And you know, my family is really supportive of it. So that's what kind of led me to it. And I've just had a great experience so far. 1, 2, and 3. All the winners have been very gracious. Most of the hunters are really positive with the feedback. Everybody has a great time. They like the areas I pick. Maybe they don't get my clues, but they at least laugh at my videos, which you know, I was always a class clown in school anyways. Yeah, I'm just having a great time doing it, and that's why. What was the first clue of all the clues? Oh, so the first clue of all the clues was not, I believe it was not Delaware. And so it was, you know, that somber kind of monologue in the beginning with me at the table with my back facing you guys about how I'm not in a good state of mind. And so, you know, that was kind of like not this state. And then if you look at if you transcribe or if you listen to what I'm saying, the first sentence, the first letter of each sentence spells out not Delaware. Greetings from Turkey. Hey, Pinar. Greetings. Pokemon Legend. We read Riley's Hunt. Me and a 15-year-old. Yeah, so I'll probably be joining you guys. I haven't ordered the book yet. I'll probably order it the next day or two and get in that. Did a hunt, found 2 in the past. I understand that. We need to put out more clue talks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Sarah needs to give me back. So I just got back in the town last night. I did a Justin thing today. I do have some information, nothing groundbreaking, but I have a few things I've worked on for TTI. So I'll do that probably tomorrow afternoon. I teach tomorrow morning, but after that I'll do another one. So there'll be one this week, Sarah. There'll be one this week. If I could ever find one to read, do you know what the cranberry? Did you know that? I did not know. I did not know there was a black bear preserve, and I'm glad nobody came across some black bears. Egg. Would she reject me? I don't know. Some dating advice. Company that makes Ebony. That you can know where the. Oh, I didn't even know that either. That's interesting. HQ Delaware. I thought they were like an overseas company. I guess maybe they got bought out or something. Okay, so the written puzzles. All right. So the written puzzles. The first one was all the sentences. Kind of made sense, made words, except the last one was just a bunch of gibberish letters. So the first four lines. I might get the paper around here somewhere. They don't mean anything. The clue was the last one that doesn't make sense. So the first one, I forget what the first three even said, but the last one that it's just letters that don't make any sense. It's that one spells out cranberry wilderness, and you can that was a Caesar cipher that you can use use decoder to brute force it and figure that one out, or the I believe the age from that was another West Virginia clue. I don't know if anybody picked that up on when Froggy dies and they have his age. His age is the number the state that West Virginia is in, which I think is what 35 was the 35th state. So that's Froggy when he does his age from 19 whatever to whatever. It's he's 35. So that was another hint for that one. But the only two written puzzles were Cranberry Wilderness, and then the other one was Pocahontas, which was still Caesar, but it was jumbled up, so it's an anagram also. That the clue was the shift. You can brute force if you want to, because you can brute force Caesars. But Spider-Man was that's how many shifts you were supposed to use. Was Spider-Man was the clue, and you get Pocahontas. It's scrambled up. But somebody, I think Scott figured. I think Scott, you said you brute force that one. I figured it out. Those were I had one more puzzle that again I'm going to save in the back. But those were the only two that were visible. Everything else was either a picture, something I show on camera that you're supposed to get, or words, or text, right, in the when it's the text exchange of me and somebody on the mobile game. Let's see. That's good. Hey, Thomas Thornton, what's going on, man? Yeah, from S2. Yeah, don't worry. We'll be back on the West Coast. I don't know about California again because I don't know. I met a few park representatives that I might be able to work with in the future, but it turns out shame on me. I didn't really understand some of the laws there and could have gotten into trouble. I think technically I would have been okay, but I think there was an impression that I gave that you got to be really careful in California. Is all I'm gonna say. So yeah, I don't know. I like to pick friendlier states that more forgiving with what you can and can't do in the parks. I mean, it's a shame though. California's got a lot of beautiful areas. I know they take that desert tortoise very seriously. I mean, being from the West Coast, the Marines at Pendleton and all that, we don't mess around with the desert tortoise. Super endangered and protected, and just ruin your life if you mess with one of those. So, and I would hate for all the stories I heard from searchers were very respectful. Most of the people that go boots in the ground are very respectful of nature. I haven't heard any stories of people trashing the place or stomping around or ruining the environment. But I wouldn't want to take that chance of, especially if I hope the hunt grows and grows and we have, maybe 100, 200 people out there. I wouldn't want to do it in like a protected environment like that. So maybe not Southern California. We'll see though. We'll see. I like to go back and forth in the coast. Thank you, Brayden. Appreciate it. Flying shared, you like Michigan. Oh, I'm trying not to get Tyler. I'm trying not to get sucked into other hunts. Because I told people that I wouldn't, so I wouldn't want to. I didn't want to tell people I'm not going to do their hunt, and then I ended up talking about it. So, yeah. So the grouse and the hare signs were on that main highway, and there were two overlook spots. They were both noted. They both said like scenic overlook here, and the grouse was at one, and the hare was at another one. Let's see if I can pull up. It's what's the highway? Highland Scenic Highway is the name of the highway that it's on. And I came from the north, and so that both of them I came down from the north. So both of them were before you hit the north-south loop. I think one of them was by Big Beachy Trail, or what's the other one? Or Knob was the other one, something Knob Pub Road. But they were both right off of Highland Scenic Highway, and they both had signs that said like scenic overlook here. Did you know the frog sign that you mail out? I did not. Rambo, I did not know that frog sign. That's pretty cool. That's there. It kind of all worked out, right? Michael Rios, what's going on, man? I'll have to, again, I don't fully understand the whole mod thing. I'll have to go and understand that. We had Fuzzy's dog. Oh, what kind of dog did Fuzzy bring out there? Oh, sorry to hear that, Dojo. I caught the age clue. Look, good. Oh, there you go. You caught that age clue. Yeah, I wasn't sure if anybody did. Mute level up. All right, if I see level up again, I'll mute him. No bears, very loud. What's up? What's up, Clicks? Kiwi. Like from the country, New Zealand, New Zealander. How's the trip? Good. Got back safe. Made it mainly thanks to the Discord. Hoorah! Looks like a Kina boldly. My ears are popping like crazy. Oh, during for the elevation, Panda Athlete, what's up? Shout out 150. When was earlier today? I'm pretty healthy, so I go like 2-3 times a day. Everyone I saw them using that frog. She's a German. Yeah, German Shepherd's pretty good guard dog. I'm in New Zealand. What's up, Este? What's up, B11? All right. We're getting about to be the 1 hour, so that's kind of a good time length here. And easy wiener, that's probably our sign that we're gonna dip out. So whenever I hesitate for when to get out, one of you guys always makes some off the wall comment, and that's kind of like, okay, yeah, we're gonna cut it. All right. The Discord Estes Quest is gonna kind of slow down for the next couple months. I'll put out two more things. There's gonna be an interview with the winner, and we're gonna work our schedules together. We're gonna put that out there so you guys can hear a little bit, as much as he's willing to share about how he went and how he did it. And other than that, we're kind of slow down. I'm gonna focus on the other 2 big hunts. I'll always let you know when I have a hunt coming up. I'll put out like a 1-month warning, like, hey, get ready for the next Estes Quest. It's going to be on this coast, or it'll be in this area. But all right. Hey, no, Tyler, that's a great way to start, man. Honestly, full disclosure, if I were to do this again or talk to my younger self, I'd probably tell myself, hey, slow your roll a little bit. Start a little bit slower with, a couple silver coins or maybe a smaller gold piece rather than, going 1 ounce right out the gate, right? I'm in it. I love it. I'm a type that just jump in and try to swim. But I've talked to a few guys. There's some people in Florida. There's some people that have travel jobs that they like to hide 1 or 2 silver coins. It's a very good price point to get in. A few of them do it exclusively on Instagram. Some do it on Facebook. But it gives you practice. It gets local searchers something to find. It's very approachable, easy to do. So yeah, I do think it's a pretty good idea. Grab a silver coin, grab a couple silver coins, put it in something. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Pelican case. I don't know. I'm a sucker for the brand, I guess. But yeah, I do recommend that. And Tyler, it'll also help you come up with new ideas for thinking about how other people run their hunts, right? If you're trying to solve one of them. Thanks for hoping we enjoy chatting with you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Mr. Clean, hi-yo. All right, guys. Take care. All right. See you guys later. Bye.